Bonsoir et bienvenue. Welcome everyone to École des Ponts Business School. I'm your host tonight. My name is Saman Sarbaz Vatan. I'm the Vice Dean of École des Ponts Business School and professor, and I'm honored to have all of you, the graduates, our guests, our esteemed faculty, professors, deans, and guests of honors. It's such a pleasure to have you here, and also those who are joining us online. Thank you very much for being here with us tonight. Tonight is the official graduation of 2025 of École des Ponts Business School. Tonight, we are having 3 programs graduates joining us here on the stage and celebrating their success. We have Global Executive MBA with EADA Business School, Lead Tech Executive MBA program. We have Executive Doctorate in Business Administration, Paris, and we have Specialized Doctorate in Business Administration delivered in Shanghai, specialized in Intelligent Manufacturing Management, Health Management Innovation, and Leadership tracks. Tonight, it's a celebration of success, but very far from the finish line. Graduates are actually just starting. You're just starting to go out and lead the way. You're going out there to transform knowledge into practice, to responsibly shape the emerging desirable futures of our markets and societies. You're graduating at a very particular time in our history, at a time where leadership is being redefined. You're the leaders of the next generation of societies and markets. You're the ones who are going to help shaping and framing what we want for our kids, for the next generations. You're the ones that we rely on you. You're the ones that the new generation relies on you. You're the ones that have a lot of responsibility now that you have graduated. Congratulations to all of you. École des Ponts Business School of École Nationale des Ponts et Chaussées has the mandate to train leaders of society, to train those who are going to transform our societies into a more responsible, into a more empathic way of communities. At École des Ponts Business School, we bridge communities. We create infrastructures, cultures, societies, and markets are connected. That's where exactly we focus on. That's exactly we follow the legacy of almost 3 centuries of legacy and excellence of École Nationale des Ponts et Chaussées. We have the honor of opening this ceremony with the warm presence of Monsieur Gilles Robin, the Deputy Director of École Nationale des Ponts et Chaussées.
Dear esteemed guests, deans, faculty, staff, friends, families, and future graduates of the Lead Tech Executive MBA program, the Executive DBA program, and the DBA in Intelligent Manufacturing Management program. It is my great honor as Deputy Director of the École Nationale des Ponts et Chaussées to share this special evening with you. Each one of you has had a very different learning journey, but you are all sharing the finish line together tonight. If my calculations are correct, we have 13 DBA diplomas and 15 Lead Tech Executive MBA diplomas to distribute here tonight. Congratulations! As a member of the Business School's Supervisory Board for many years now, I have had a privileged view of the business school's people, programs, and initiatives. I have always been impressed by the intimacy and care they bring to their programs, by the diversity of the staff, the faculty, the participants, and the graduates like you. I also have an idea of how challenging the programs actually are. So, I would like to acknowledge your resilience, your determination, and your achievement in getting to the end of your respective programs. It was certainly not easy, but you got it done. Well done! At the École des Ponts, we are happy to see how innovative and academically challenging the business school's programs are and continue to be. As the business school continues to bring new programs to the market, it is important for me to see that our nearly 280-year-old tradition of academic excellence is respected and honored. As you will all be receiving École des Ponts diplomas, it is very important for me that you know at least a little bit about the school. As the first civil engineering school on the planet, we are probably the only school that can say that we have been training thinkers, doers, researchers, and leaders, including 2 Nobel Prize winners, for over 280 years. From the construction of bridges in Paris, the design of world-famous buildings around the globe, to revolutionizing construction, green finance, and economics, among many other significant achievements, the École des Ponts is proud to be among the top schools in France and Europe. In 2024, École des Ponts joined the Institut Polytechnique de Paris, a grouping of the best engineering schools, École Polytechnique, Télécom Paris, ENSTA, Télécom Sud Paris, and ENSAI. This is a dynamic group whose members share the same values. École des Ponts will contribute fields related to the sustainable regional development. It has everything to do with the ecological and energy transition. As the world becomes increasingly sensitive to the issues facing climate change, the École des Ponts is planned to be playing an active part in trying to solve the many problems we are facing. You may know that our school is under the direct tutelage of the Ministry of Ecological Transition, which is why our students, faculty, and researchers are working hard to advance the frontiers of energy management, mobility, climate modeling, smart cities, sustainable development, circular economy, and much more. The business school initiatives, like the Responsible Technology Center of the new Applied Masters in Tech for Good Entrepreneurship and Innovation, are well aligned with our mission and values at the École des Ponts, as are the trainings and research relative to the circular economy. The continued development of global MBA and DBA programs, like the programs you are graduating from, highlight the contribution of the business school to the École des Ponts strategies to increase its visibility and impact in France and around the world. The École des Ponts' legacy in terms of academic excellence is indisputable and is something that we at the École des Ponts naturally pride ourselves in. However, this legacy also comes with great responsibility. We need to tirelessly work to maintain and defend this level of academic and reputational excellence in everything we do. This effort extends to the business school and its programs. And this effort now extends to you, our future alumni. I truly hope that your actions and words will make us proud, that you will act as worthy brand ambassadors and as exemplary representative of the academic excellence the École des Ponts represents across the globe. We like to say that the École des Ponts is training engineers for society, while the business school trains managers for society. Today, due to the rapid advances of technology and the complexification of business, together we need to train even more engineers and managers to become responsible leaders for society. More complex challenges will require more knowledgeable leadership as well as more creativity. This is why we also need to train our students to have an innovative mindset, encourage them to start new businesses, to have the skills needed to successfully design new solutions to the challenging problems we face in business and in society. Coming back you, very near future graduates and alumni of École des Ponts, the program you are graduating from was designed to challenge you. It requires you to put in many hours of work. It asks you to demonstrate ability, commitment, dedication, discipline, perseverance, and a strong desire to develop yourself and your potential. If you have made it here today, it is because you share these important values and you have made the necessary personal investment and sacrifices. For this, I thank you and congratulate you. Allow me to remind you that when you receive your diploma in a very short time now, you will become a strong symbol of a long tradition of French academic excellence for the rest of your life. You have earned the right to be an École des Ponts alumnus, but that right also comes with responsibility. We expect you to carry the school's tradition and values with pride, respect, and honor, and we count on you to make us proud of your inclusion in our growing community of alumni. This evening is a celebration of you completing your studies, a celebration of your learning journey, a celebration of your graduation, and a celebration of you joining the prestigious École des Ponts Alumni Association, now known as Ponts Alumni. To conclude, allow me to congratulate you, each and every one of you, to wish you all the best of success and to officially open the 2024 graduation ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So now you know a bit more about the legacy that we need to not only protect, but also grow further. The graduates of École nationale des ponts et chaussées, they have built the roads, bridges, and infrastructures of France. École nationale des ponts et chaussées trains nation builders. What we do at the business school is that we continue that tradition. We create roads and bridges, and we try to interconnect disciplines, as we have been doing across the programs, communities, and cultures. And that's something we are very proud of. And myself, like all of you, I'm a graduate of the school and very proud of that. So without further ado, our beloved Dean, Professor Alain Rosen, is kindly invited to the stage to share some wisdom. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Graduates, families, friends, staff, IADA partners, and the future generations who hopefully will be back in 20 years to do our programs. As Dean, I'm usually expected to say something Deanish, and so let me give it a try. Hashtag do something different. Around 30 years ago today, I can't believe it was that long ago, I was in a similar place as you, in an amphitheater, and I had just received my École des Ponts MBA diploma. And my father was with me, and he kind of put his arm around my shoulder, and he's like, well, I hope you get a good job after this crazy investment you did for the last year and a half. And I said, actually, I think I'm going to do something different. I think, you know, that startup idea I was working for in my MBA project, I think I want to try that. I want to become a startupper. And that's actually what happened. And so what I think is interesting for you, and whether or not you know it or not, I'm guessing you probably don't know it, but you came here out of some form of existential frustration. You probably wanted a little bit more out of life, more out of your career. You wanted something a little bit different. Don't lose sight of that reason. All right? Now that you're at the finish line, don't settle with going back to what you were doing before you started this journey. Now is always the best time to capitalize on what you have learned, on your new skills, on your newfound confidence, on your new mindset, on your broader view of the world. So don't settle for less unless you really have found your professional happy place. Do what you need to do in order to get more of what you want out of life. Hashtag 1% better every day. So 2 years after starting to work on my post-MBA startup, I was walking back to my apartment on a hot night in Paris. And it was one of those really hot nights in Paris. I don't know if you know what that feels like in the summer. And I was about to go into my apartment. I was like, oh no, it's just too hot. I can't go in. I'm going to do another walk around the block. And I had taken like 5 steps. I've gone like 2 minutes away from the entrance to my apartment, and I landed on one of my MBA colleagues. And he introduced me to his wife, who was pregnant. And basically, he said, hey, Alain, this is a little bit random, but would you be interested in teaching strategy at the business school in Dijon, where I also teach? So just like that, I started teaching strategy, while at the same time I was trying to figure out strategy for my startup. And so teaching became my side job, but it allowed me to rapidly scale up my thinking and strategy and to get 1% better every day in my day job. Like me then, all right, since you came here, you have been in constant learning mode. You have been in getting better every day mode. You have practiced what a growth mindset is, as you have radically expanded everything, your potential, boosted your knowledge, boosted your way of seeing things. All right, learning for all of you has really become a habit, and some habits are really good for you. All right, don't break this one just because the program is ending. All right, instead embrace it, keep up the practice, keep learning. Hashtag storytelling, or every time somebody gives you a mic on the stage, it's a good chance to practice your presentation skills. All right, so about 20 years ago, I just got off a plane that took me from San Diego to Paris, and I landed in Charles de Gaulle. And I was actually with the coffee in one hand and with my carry-on on the other, and my phone rings. And it was the Nokia Matrix phone. Don't remember those, so it was always like you push the button and it kind of slung out. It felt really cool. And I look and I see it was a call from the CEO who I just left in San Diego. And basically, what he said to me was like, hey, Alain, I hope the flight back was okay. Listen, after you left, we were talking with my associates, and we all agreed that maybe you could be the man for the job. I was like, really? What job is that? And it was like, what do you think about setting up a wine distribution company for us in Luxembourg? Well, since my first startup had died, I tried, it died, and I had just sold my shares in a second startup, the timing was actually pretty good, so I said, what the hell, let's try. There's only one problem. All of a sudden, I found myself running a wine company, and everybody, especially in France, expects you to be an expert in all things wine. And I wasn't. So I tried to do the usual wine tasting courses and everything else, but I realized that I needed more than that. And that's when I got another phone call. Answer those phone calls. It can be interesting. This time it was somebody who was running an MBA program where I had been teaching marketing for the last 5 years. He's like, "Hey, Alon, you know how you've been teaching here for some time now?" Like, yeah. I was like, I didn't know if I was going to get fired or something or what was going on. He's like, well, actually, the accreditation agencies are now really looking at who has PhD credentials and who doesn't. I think it might be a good idea if you got a PhD if you want to keep teaching here. And so basically, I understood that this was actually my chance to up my wine game. And so what I did was I decided to do a PhD and to focus my research on the globalization of the wine industry. And so while I was doing my research, which included drinking a lot of very good French wine, I have to say, so I kind of enjoyed the choice of my research, I got another phone call. It just doesn't stop ringing. "Hey, Alon." It was the previous dean of the business school. He's like, "I heard you're doing a PhD." I was like, "Uh-huh." He's like, "Would you be interested in joining the school as the assistant dean?" I was like, "Really?" I was like, at the time, I had no intention of getting into academia. I was still running a wine company in Luxembourg. I was still doing my PhD. So I was like, well, I don't know. I guess I could, but it would have to be like very part-time. And to my surprise, he accepted. All right? The long of the short of it, and I don't have enough time to give you the details, but the universe conspired somehow to help me find my happy place. So many crazy things converged that I was actually appointed to replace the dean for just 1 year, about 11 years ago. And so I'm still here. But the long and the short of it is really this kind of feeling that the universe helped me find my happy place. This job that allows me to do something different every day as part of the job description, and getting better every day is actually a key part of the job. So there are a lot of possible takeaways on this. One, maybe you answer the phone when it rings. Another one may be linked to the value of drinking quality French wine. But otherwise, it felt like I had provoked the universe to bring me new opportunities by going back to school. Acquiring new skills, it brought me to a radically different career than I had ever intended. And it helped me really find my happy place where I get to work with wonderful people day in and day out, year in and year out, and it's given me a good excuse tonight to hone my storytelling skills. So please allow me to wish more of the same for you as you go forward. I congratulate all of you, and I really hope you enjoy this evening that's all about you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alon. So speaking of the call that the universe is calling you, the universe is calling you now. It was not when you joined the school, but now that you're graduating, the universe is actually calling you. Because it's now that we need, even more than before, responsible leaders like yourselves who are coming from around the world, who are coming from across disciplines and markets, and are going to go back and redistribute back not only the knowledge, but also the care that you have seen, hopefully, from the team and from the ecosystem that we have. Speaking of care, we have Dr. Anino Emwa, our guest of honor here tonight, who traveled to be here with us to congratulate you in person. Dr. Anino is a global expert in leadership and corporate governance. She's the founder of 100 Women at Davos, managing director at a consulting company, and many more. But above all, she is a beautiful soul, and she is a very impactful person. We are honored to have her tonight with us. Thank you very much, Dr. Anino.
I tell you, it's always wonderful to be down here in front because you get to see everybody, and what amazing faces. I've even made friends with the little ones and the babies here tonight. Good evening, deans, faculty, graduates, families, guests, babies, little ones. Tonight we honor achievement, but we're also honoring something greater: the ambition, the courage, the discipline that carried each of you to this moment. Completing an executive MBA or an executive DBA is not simply an academic milestone. It's an act of resilience, a declaration of who you are becoming, the leaders of the future. And when I say the leaders of the future, I don't mean the leaders in the future. I mean the future that is coming. You are the ones leading it. How many of you graduates know what you'll be doing, or feel you know what you'll be doing in 10 years' time? Show of hands. In 10 years' time, who feels they know what they'll be doing? Don't be shy now. Nobody? One, two, maybe. Exactly. We are not sure, because the world is changing at an astronomical pace. I remember a personal reflection. First of all, like Professor Alan Rosen, 30 years ago, in a different institution, or just over 30 years ago actually, I was also receiving my MBA. And about 9 years ago, this year, I received my doctorate in business administration, both in the UK. And I was there planning the next stage of my career, thinking I knew what I was going to do. But when I reflect back, I can be sure what is certain was I had no idea I'd been doing what I'm doing now. It was clear. I was clear at the age of 16 what I was going to do. At the age of 16, I was clear that I was going to be a corporate or investment banker. Absolutely clear. I did everything to get there. I had to study economics. And then I even chose monetary economics just to be sure. I did all the applications, and I got into one of those banks, and that was Citibank. And I was in exactly the place that I wanted to, that I had planned since I was 16. And here I was at the age of 22. And at the age of 22, after studying in the UK, back to my home country, I found myself as a credit officer, as a credit analyst, moving up very quickly at a very young age, 22, 23, 24, signing credits for multinational institutions of millions of dollars. That was 30-something years ago. But it was a space that I was happy in, and I was perfectly fine. And then I started to think, I'm back home in my country, Nigeria, from the UK, and I can see that there are opportunities or spaces or gaps in the market. And there were entrepreneurial opportunities, and why weren't we growing the entrepreneurial ecosystem the way we needed to? And from my corporate banking background, I knew that there was a problem in lending and getting credit to these businesses. And that led me to my doctoral studies, which is overcoming the barriers to finance, to smaller businesses, because I knew as a corporate banker that we didn't lend to smaller businesses. We didn't have the information, we didn't have all of that. And it led to that. From that, it led to research. From that, it led to consulting. From consulting, it led to leadership. And today, my work is focused on leadership, specifically in inclusive leadership. That journey might have been a journey of choice, of circumstance, etc. But the changes that are coming are so much more in today's world. The first time I spoke about artificial intelligence, I actually found my slides when I was looking for something in my laptop, was in 2019 into a business school, students, and it was just talking about what was coming. We didn't know what would hit us, and here we are in today's world. And that is why my topic to you today is leadership in the age of artificial intelligence. I know some of you have that in your research thesis, etc. So it's not a discussion about artificial intelligence. I do some writing on that. It is how are we going to lead, or how are you going to lead in this world that is being shaped by artificial intelligence? When I received my MBA, part of the work we had to do was to write, of course, papers and articles and all of that. And I remember that you had to give them in at a certain time of the day. And it was usually you're giving it on Friday or something, or Thursday. You had to deliver it on Sunday. We didn't have computers, we didn't have laptops. Well, there was a computer lab somewhere, but we didn't have personal laptops. And so you had to get an appointment with an administrator who would type your paper. That meant that there was no delete, there was no editing. It was exactly as you wrote it, was the way you were going to get it. Fast forward 20-something years ago, and I was doing my DBA. I think I broke 2 computers, 2 laptops, just because of the amount of work that went through my hands. My family read draft after draft. By the time I'm getting the 6 documents, they were fed up. So you move on to, I got a friend. I promised her, come and spend the weekend. I'll treat you, of course, false pretexts, because she was clever. She did finance, right? And she was interested in the field. Of course, I got her to read the draft. It's amazing that we're still friends today, right? All of that, when I reflect on that, thinking about technology, it wouldn't have taken more than, oh yes, of course, I had to hire somebody, a young professional, to read my thesis, to correct all those grammatical errors, structured sentences, because you were fed up at this stage, right? You couldn't see any of those anymore, those errors. In today's world, you can just literally get that thesis proofread by one of the chatbots within seconds or minutes, and it's done. And I know that it would have shaved at least a year off my studies, because I was a young mother, I was working and traveling in 3 countries. It would have shaved that time off. So the amount of efficiency that you get. But that efficiency also has its dark side, and that dark side, many of you know. We're talking about ethics, we're talking about security, safety, security. And in an academic situation as well, I know that faculty was talked about that, it's one thing to get automated proofreading, it's another thing to, to go into a chatbot to create a research document that you didn't write. So AI in the academic world and ethics is really very apparent. Now, interestingly enough, I actually, a few months ago, or last year actually, I had a TED talk, and I spoke about some biases in artificial intelligence, and in part of that work, I ran a part of my thesis, just a little paragraph, random, through generative AI, and asked a question: was this written by artificial intelligence? And it said likely yes. This was a thesis written 6 or 7 years before we ever had access. That is the rigor of the work that you do, that even artificial intelligence thinks that, your thesis was written by artificial intelligence. It is transforming our workplaces, our jobs, our industries, and eventually our societies. And critically, it is forcing us to confront these issues that I've mentioned. And I know that the ReTech platform under Professor Saman is working on some of these very questions, and I do look forward to contributing to this work during my fellowship at the ReTech Center in 2026. I have reviewed your research topics. They're extraordinary, they're bold, future-focused, globally relevant, and yet, here is the paradox of research. We study the past to make sense of the present and, importantly, of the future. Even as the world changes so quickly that our findings may be outdated in a few years, and probably even more so in today's research, especially in leadership, in business, etc. So what is the real value of this degree, of the degrees that you have acquired? More than just the outcomes. It's not just the subject matter expertise, it's the rigor that you have gained, the structured way with which you now approach complexity. And this, more than anything, will define your leadership in the years ahead. Hold this tightly. It will serve you again and again. Your title may open doors, but your purpose determines which doors you choose to walk through. So tonight isn't simply a celebration, it's a call to lead differently, bravely, and with purpose. The extraordinary complexity in today's world, and the Dean has spoken about that, from climate change, tech acceleration, geopolitical fractures. These aren't abstract issues. They shape our economies, our institutions, and our daily lives. And in this new era, leaders are no longer judged only by what they achieve, but about how they achieve it. The age of transactional leadership is over. Many of you might disagree with me, and you understand why. We're entering a time that demands purposeful, ethical, deeply human leadership. Because growth without responsibility is no longer leadership. Innovation without inclusion is no longer progress. Power without purpose is no longer acceptable. As leaders, you will shape institutions and practices, you shape organizations, you'll shape countries. And this will affect people and planet. Your degrees equip you not only to rise high, but to make the difficult, consequential decisions that leadership requires. You carry the legacy of a mother institution of more than 207 years. And with that legacy comes the responsibility to strengthen the path for those who will come after you. One of the greatest assets that you will come away with is not only the knowledge that you gained, the skills that you've gained, but the network and the community that is being built here. The classmates who challenged you, supported you, stood beside you, the faculty. In an AI-driven world, human relationships become even more valuable. Nurture them. Because the future will not be shaped by isolated brilliance. It will be shaped by courageous collaboration. In my own career, living and working in 6 countries, learning new languages, studying and teaching, working across 3 continents and building a community of leaders from 109 countries, one thing has remained true. Crossing cultures not just expands your mind, it expands your heart. Let me share a small moment with you. Earlier this year, I was in Osaka, my first time in Japan, And after a beautiful concert, musical concert that was organized by our hosts, and as we headed up, I headed up the stairs to the exit, I heard my name, and I heard, Dr. Nino, Dr. Nino. And I turned thinking it was somebody from the delegation. But it was a lady, a Japanese lady, that I didn't know. And she goes, oh my God, I can't believe I'm seeing you. She says, I follow your work. Your work is so impactful to me. And here I was, 17,000 kilometers away, with no idea, somebody who had never met me. Your work is going to touch people, is going to shape institutions far wider than the places and the spaces you expected, in ways that you may never fully know. And we are at a time where, as complex and as worrying as it is sometimes, I actually think it's quite exciting, because you will go down in history as the generation that made the change that set our world on a certain path. So all that VUCA world, all the polycrisis is there for us to change. And the questions you need to ask yourself is, what will your leadership make possible for others? What systems will you strengthen? What barriers will you break? Complexity isn't the enemy, it's the canvas. It is the space where meaningful leadership is born. And I want to end by honoring the founder of this institution, this business school, and its first director, Professor Celia Russo, a brilliant academic, no doubt, and a visionary leader. Very few business schools in the world have been founded by women. Her vision created the global community you are now part of, almost 40 years later. And one of her guiding principles was that of inclusion and inclusive leadership. And I urge you to carry this forward. Inclusive leadership elevates every organization, every society, every economy. Because you, this generation of executives, will redefine what leadership means. You're stepping into a world hungry for leaders who are bold, principled, and unafraid to do what is right, even when that is sometimes the harder path. So, lead with purpose, act with courage, and leave every room, every space, better than you found it. You have earned the right to lead, and now earn the right to be remembered. Imagine a world where leadership is measured not by dominance, but by dignity, not by authority, but by impact, not by the positions we hold, but by the lives we transform. Congratulations, graduates. The world is ready and waiting for the global leaders that you're destined to become. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anino. It's our pleasure to have you here with us tonight. Anino is also a distinguished fellow at our RETEC Center, and as a leader, as also we have been repeating to you, don't be so happy, it's not the end. It's just the beginning. She's also starting her postdoc here at RETEC Center of École de Ponts Business School with us. Thank you very much. It's our pleasure to have you. Thank you. I guess I owe you a story. But I'm going to tell you a story not about warm evenings in Paris, but I don't even remember the temperature, to be honest. It was in 2000. I'm going to tell you the story that I suffered from that then led to the emergence of something beautiful. In 2000, I started working in parallel in technology and in academia. I was very young to work in academia, but because what I studied was very important in 2000, those of us who remember, I was asked to go and teach to the executives digital transformation. So in 2000, I started. And in parallel, I was working in technology, coming from science and technology, in product development, solution development, and transformation of systems. For this, I suffered for about 17 years until in 2017, something very beautiful happened. In 2017, I was working on this idea of turning this frustration and this suffering that I was going to into something more meaningful. I was suffering to work in between leaders and tech people. It was my job to drive innovation, digital transformation, but also it was my job also to convince leaders, also to convey the strategic importance of what we were going to do, to translate what the leaders wanted strategically from the technical guys and from developers and solution designers. So it was about 17 years, and I was almost losing hope until the idea of lead tech came up. Lead tech was designed exactly to address the problem of leadership and tech people not managing to communicate efficiently in order to drive innovation. So what happened was that we designed the programs, and I was very happy. But then in my cohort of EDBA in 2017, I met someone that I didn't know by the time. Just as a classmate, I got to know him. But then what happened was that we started working and talking together and sharing ideas. And that's where Lead Tech Global Executive MBA program got more shape and came to life. With the valuable support of our team, of course, Elan, Karen at the time was working with us, of course, Hina, now we have Sonia, Bruna, and many more, Nelly. We were working on all of these projects to see, okay, this executive MBA is much needed because we were seeing firsthand the challenges and the problems. But then with Jordi, when I shared it, Dr. Jordi Diaz, who is also from my cohort of executive DBA, then we found it. We found exactly the perfect match, École de Ponts Business School and EADA Business School, to launch this joint degree program, Lead Tech Global Executive MBA. So I invite Dr. Jordi Diaz, my fellow classmate and alumni from the school, to join us on the stage and to welcome all of you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, you know, after... Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Buenas noches a todos. Desde España y con amor. It's a pleasure to be here, coming all the way from Barcelona, and being here with our dear colleagues from École de Ponts, with our dear graduates, first graduates from our joint program, EADA and École de Ponts, the Lead Tech Global Executive MBA, but also my fellows. I was here 4 years ago, graduating from the EDBA. So it is always, I always start saying that it is a very special. I was sending a WhatsApp to my supervisor before coming here today, saying, if I am here, it's because of you, and you know that. And this is 4 years later. And this is something, I guess, it resonates especially with the ones that are in the EDBA end line. Today, my words as the Dean of EADA Business School will be more addressed to the Lead Tech Global Executive MBAs. By the way, you are welcome to send your executives to the program, to the EDBAs. But I have some words and thoughts after the previous speeches. Inspiration is not the point, because I think we were all inspired by Dr. Anino. Thank you very much. But I'm gonna try to make some, few remarks on what has been the experience. But before I start, I also, and I see her taking a picture actually, if I am also here with the Lead Tech, is because Marjolaine Overmars is with me, who is the director, the founding director, together with Saman and all the colleagues. So this week I was reading, as we all do, I was I guess it's part of the journey. So I was reading the Harvard Business Review, and one of the things that came into my attention sometimes is you read things that are so obvious, so basic, that then it ended up to be very profound. And it was an interview to the global CEO of McKinsey, in name of they are celebrating 100 years, and he said something that, to be honest, I like them to put in practice, but at least he say it. Yeah? But again, I would like him or them to put it in practice. And he said, you can see that it was a Monday in the HBR. He said, we've been too focused on perfect marks. Yeah? So it was all about perfection. While today it's about resilience, collaboration, aptitude for learning, the key indicators of success, okay? So I think that can start with what I want to share with you. So this program for the graduating from the Lead Tech is called Lead Tech on Purpose and not Tech Lead. And I think it will resonate with some of the previous words. So it's a Lead Tech, not Tech Lead. Why? Because leadership does not come after technology. Leadership comes before it, before the algorithms, the dashboards, the AI copilots. Leadership is what definitely defines why something is built, who it serves, and what we're willing to trade off along the way. One of the paradoxes of our time is that we have more data than ever, and at the same time, we need more judgment than ever. We have more tools than ever, and again, we need more values than ever. We have more speed, but we need events like these ones, where we feel kind of like things are slow, you know, and slow goes with reflection. As we speak, we are, from EADA, facing the biggest global leadership program that we ever had, with a number, you know, one of the most prestigious companies, 92,000 employees around the world. We have to train 1,000 people in this 2026 in 15 different countries. What is this program about? Not about AI, not about technology, it's about leading yourself, leading teams, leading society. And it's about reflecting on how that do you connect your personal kind of like purpose with your organization's purpose. So some of the things that probably resonate with what you did in the very first day of your time in Coimbatore. And one of the most important things, or most inspiring things for me preparing these very few minutes, was watching the video that you did. And I see some faces that were on the video, but you know, the 4 or 5 faces, I'm sure the other ones will say exactly the same, the before and after, which, by the way, I think is a unique video. And it's not about promotion. It's the same participants that today will collect their diplomas. They were interviewed before, and then what is the same person thinking 1 year or 1 year and a half later? And how that, you know, think about leading yourself, finding your purpose, finding your, probably you don't know where you're gonna be in 10 years' time, but you know you better now because you pause, you reflect, and you know what you don't want to do, and you are trying here to set your new journey. So I'm gonna go to the end because I think I don't wanna be saturating the thing, as we say in research. So I think we built the concept. Professor Santoro, I learned something. So if we're saturating, we better stop. No, it's fine. Okay, so he will come later, by the way. And so I guess and I hope we help you to ask better questions. We help you to see systems, was mentioned before, not only silos. And we help you to understand that progress without purpose is just acceleration. So I'm honored to represent another institution that was founded by a woman, one of the very few, back in 1957, Mrs. Irene Vázquez. I'm honored to be considered almost the son of, professional son of Irene Vázquez, as he has said that to me 2 months ago in Ibiza. So I feel that I also have this important legacy. We have a fantastic team. Obviously, we are in a new era. Nostalgia is something that sometimes you need to fight when you want to change things. Respect the past, but think that if we want to be tomorrow there, we have to change things. Be respectful, but nostalgia will not take us to the next level. So today is a celebration. Thank you, everybody, for being here. You're all more than welcome to Barcelona, the other house of the program. I feel like at home because I am a graduate of the two schools. I think so far the only one. I always say that. This is my uniqueness. But for all of you from two programs, two different programs. The lead techs are graduated from the two schools, but from one program. So anyway, on behalf of EADA Business School, where I am honored to lead this school for the last 5 years, and hopefully, I don't know in 10, but I have a plan for the next 5 with a phenomenal board. Congratulations to all of you. Looking forward to afterwards having a toast with all of you. And let's make the world a little bit better than what it was 1 hour, 10 minutes ago. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jordi. So we are very honored to have Jordi also as a graduate of École de Ponts Business School's Executive Doctorate in Business Administration program. The program, well, I didn't do lead tech myself as a program, unfortunately. I mean, every year, Alan and I, with Jordi and Marjolaine and Hannah, we are working on this program, and we say, wish this program existed when we were doing our MBA. So lead tech program is managed directly by Marjolaine Overmars, our beloved colleague from Barcelona, from EADA, and of course, Hanna Uusiseppa from Finland, that you know all. And what we try to do there is exactly what Jordi also explained, also the red thread across all the stories that you have been hearing so far, is about really leveraging innovation science responsibly. And today, we had so much fun when our lead techers were presenting their final projects that were all based on impact. I didn't do lead tech, but I did another program at the school, the Executive DBA program, that changed my life personally, and I guess all the graduates of the program say the same. We had one thing in common. Of course, Executive DBA program is designed for executives, senior professionals, and those who want to lead the emerging frontiers of societies and markets. So people are naturally coming from different industries, different backgrounds, and we work on different topics, different subjects, right? But we had all one thing in common, among some other. That one thing in common was the respect that we grew over time based on evidence and based on what we experienced in the program, the respect for Professor Joseph Santora, our Associate Dean of Doctoral Programs, who is here with us, Professor Santora. And he's the person who helped myself a lot, and all our graduates of Executive DBA, and of course the participants who are working with him. He is the guardian of quality and excellence, somewhere that is very difficult to manage because EDBA is not PhD. It's far beyond PhD. EDBA is not lower than PhD in terms of application or usage, but EDBA is much, much beyond because you need to show direct impact in business, in application, in how you use research for advancing the responsible transition. So Professor Santora is the one. We all have a lot of respect for him, and he's the one who has been coaching us, supporting us, and helping us to make this program one of the best programs in the world, the Executive DBA program of École de Ponts Business School. Professor Santora, please.
I want to put mine on top of yours, okay? You know. Bonsoir. Nothing else in French. Welcome to the 10th EDBA graduation. I am Joseph Santoro. I'm the director of the program. I'd like to welcome Mr. Ramon, our guest of honor, Dr. Anino, Dean Rosen, Vice Dean Saman, Dean Diaz, faculty, staff, distinguished guests, friends, family members, and the 13 EDBA 10 graduates. Nine of whom are with us tonight in person, 4 who are participating online, including 2 newly minted EDBAs from China, Dr. Jimmy Mi in the audience, who has traveled almost 6,000 miles or more than 9,000 kilometers to attend the graduation with us. Congratulations to the co-valedictorians, Dr. Dez and Dr. Clementine. Graduates, it takes the talents of many people for any program to be successful. I want to especially thank those people who make our doctoral program work. Dr. Suman, Dr. Mona Lisa, Dr. Menguin, our latest addition to the program, Nellie, and other staff, Gabrielle, sorry, Gabriel's wherever Gabrielle is. Okay, there she is. Okay. And our other additions of the staff members. Let's give them a round of applause. Graduates, today will certainly be one of the most memorable days of your life. Think about how much you learned since you first considered applying to our EDBA program. Going through the application process, the interview, waiting on pins and needles for an acceptance letter from Hina. Where is she? Enrolling in the program, attending the learning labs, participating in course modules, learning new research terms, conducting research, selecting dissertation supervisors, writing your papers, and perhaps writing several drafts until your papers were accepted, and then presenting your papers in an oral defense before a committee of professors. And even in some cases, if you've gotten papers published by academic and professional outlets, you have accomplished so much. Wow. You have met many challenges along the way, head on. You have persevered, and you have been highly successful and very resilient. You have enjoyed the thrill of victory, never once considering the agony of defeat. During your time with us, you learned more than how to conduct research and how to write academic and practitioner papers. You learned how to work closely with people from all walks of life and throughout the world. Some of you worked extra hours at the office, skipped family dinners, special family events, and even perhaps a much-needed vacation with your family to read journal articles and books and to write one of the endless drafts of your papers. Perhaps 19th century German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche was correct when he said, "What doesn't kill me makes me stronger." And you are indeed stronger from your doctoral experiences with us. You were mentored by all whom you encountered in one way or another: fellow students, administrators, faculty, staff, and support services. You honed your critical thinking skills. Getting your EDBA degree isn't the end of your learning. It's just the beginning of your journey as a lifelong learner. Continue your relationship with your brain trust and other members of our vast network. Today, we live in a volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, or vocal world. We have given you the tools to work in our vocal world and to be successful. Remember the lessons you learned along the way and celebrate your hard work and your major life accomplishment. The best is yet to come, as Frank Sinatra, one of the most famous singers of the 20th century, sang. The future will be the best for you. I wish you much happiness and success in all your future endeavors. Let's give the 10th EDBA graduates a warm round of applause. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Santora. Of course, Mona Lisa, Mengwen, Hina, Gabrielle, and Nelly, thank you all, and others, of course, that are supporting this program. So now it's time for our valedictorians to share with us maybe some stories, maybe some takeaways, maybe some advice for the next generation. I don't know. But Alexa Ramirez is the first valedictorian of Global Executive MBA of Lead Tech.
Good evening, everybody. When I was asked to be on tonight's speaker, I went through the classic panic mode. I was honored and I was very terrified to find the right words for this journey. Before anything else, I need to acknowledge the one that gives me purpose in every step that I take. Thank to God for the privilege to speak to you tonight, and also for allowing us to reach this moment together. Behind every late night assignment, every impossible deadline, every why did we sign up for this, none of us got here alone. Behind the people here, and it says, the one who walks with the wise will be wise. It's definitely true. All of you here helped shape this class into what it is. Wise, kind, funny, resilient, and dangerously smart. If someone here tomorrow launches a unicorn, don't be surprised, I just warned you. Now, just 20 seconds to give honor to the ones that deserve honor in my life, my parents. Si Dios me hubiese dado solamente la bendición de tenerlos a ustedes dos como padres, para mí hubiese sido suficiente. Perfect, that should guarantee presence for the next decades. As I reflect on this year, I realized that Gemba didn't just teach us strategy, innovation, or how to survive red-eye flights. It gave us story, very legendary ones. Like my classmates, Sohail and David, still sitting in the classroom very late and alone, after everyone already left, trying to convince us that putting modular houses in Paris was the great idea. Or the insurance cartel, that the pitch that Rez and David gave to us, where somehow they converted the innovation challenge into a very dangerous business model of political mafia. MBA creativity at its finest. Or the study trip to Singapore, where our class demonstrated that very active participation can be the plot to a twist Latino telenovela. Or who could ever forget Basha? When he was yelling to Osama, Osama, stop buying warehouses. I'm sure if there's a TED Talk in his future, that should be the title. And there is my personal trauma. In the robot exercise in Kobato, hearing my entire team screaming, Alexa, what are you doing? It sounded like I was a malfunctional Amazon device. I still cannot forget Amina's disappointed face in my head. These aren't just memories. They are the proof of something rare, a group of leaders who know to work hard, think differently, challenge each other, and laugh while doing it. Now comes the serious part. We didn't go through this global executive MBA to collect a title. We came here to level up, personally and professionally, to learn from École Ponts, from EADA, and most importantly, from each other. And now that we have this knowledge, we carry great responsibility. We are leaders. People follow what we normalized. Our influence is already active, whether we intend it or not. This work doesn't need just more presentations, more buzzwords, more frameworks. It needs leaders who build technology that serves people, develop teams with empathy, clarity, and accountability, design sustainable business models. Knowledge without action is vanity. Knowledge shared is transformation. My hope is simple, that years from now, when I see all of your successes, I can proudly say, I knew them, and I always knew they will make it. LeadTech Gemba Class 2024, 2025, we were entrusted with talent, now let's multiply it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alexa. Now we are going to hear from Mr. Rezan Suleiman Hafaji, the other valedictorian of the LeadTech Global Executive MBA. Thank you.
Thank you, Saman. Those who know me well know that I love a task list. I love an Outlook invitation, and I'm a meticulous planner. As a meticulous planner, it only made sense for the next step in my career to embark on an MBA program that ends in an 8-day startup boot camp where nothing's stable, nothing's planned, and you can't see beyond the next few hours. Obviously, it makes no sense. On a serious note, though, what a way to end the 16 months. Building, testing, failing, starting up again. Starting an entire business from scratch, and then building an app that you just thought about a few days ago. It's amazing. I would say, what a way to end. But I don't feel like it's the end. My hope is that the MBA program is just the beginning, an exciting beginning for a few of us, actually all of us graduating today. I want to give a shout out to my colleagues. Waja, when you started the program, you just worked for a digital bank. While you were in the program, it became the best digital bank in the world. Then because of you, it became the best AI bank in the world. Well done, Waja. In the last year, we have Osama. He started a business, and it was relatively small. While he's been on the program, it's grown. There's a big backlog. You've got a lot of events. What I expect from you, Osama, is to be on the front page of GQ Egypt. Don't let me down. Some started quietly and a bit reserved in the background, but they ended up becoming formidable forces and really showed us how you can grow throughout this program. Cheney, I'm talking about you. I think you should be super proud of yourself. On to our lecturers. Wow, what a bunch. So we had the Zen Business lecture. Zen Business? Anyone? It sounds really fancy, sounds a bit complicated. Our lecturer, however, made it quite relatable, understandable, even fun. We did meditate every morning, every evening for 2 days, for 5 minutes. Every professor does that, right? Obviously. Financial valuations, we had the legend Kevin. Now, financial valuations isn't everyone's topic, but he made it enjoyable, interesting. At some point, he was relating financial valuations to walk in the streets of Medellin, Colombia, you know, Pablo Escobar, also the place of birth of our favorite Colombian, Tomás. We also had our strategy course, which was taught apparently by one of the best strategy professors in the world. Who would have known? The man was humble, he was kind, he was quite simple. You know, the message there is that we've had amazing professors. They've given us amazing advice, but at the same time, they've been great people. I don't say this often, and you wouldn't expect it, but they were really cool people. All right. Now, onto a topic close to my heart, the environment. When I was looking at MBA programs and what I wanted to do, and what MBA programs had a focus on business and environment, this program came right at the top. At first I thought, okay, this must be marketing. But the honest truth is that throughout the program, with our homework, our coursework, and all of the lectures, it's been embedded, it's been driven home. And I'm actually really proud to say that I now have the basics and the knowledge and the confidence to try and make a better world from an environmental perspective and from a business perspective. So thank you. Finally, I wanted to give some thanks. I wanted to take the opportunity to thank my loving family. They've been patient, and they've given me their love, their support. And I also wanted to thank the families of the rest of the cohort. I wouldn't have been able to do this at this stage of my life if it wasn't for you, so thank you to my family again. Final thanks to the support teams. I'm not supposed to say this, but you really spoilt us. You know who you are. And believe me, we are a needy bunch. Standing here tonight is a proud moment for me and for our entire cohort. The end of the journey is bittersweet. Knowing that all of that hard work, all that sacrifice is now over is great. But I'm also sad because I have to part ways with all of you. And that leaves me feeling a sense of sadness. The program taught us about communication, but it hasn't taught me to keep quiet. So I'll stop now. Good night, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Rezan. I don't share what we worked on as your innovation challenge, but you know what I'm talking about. So our first valedictorian of the EDBA program is Dr. Clémentine Sylvie Caroline Langlois-Lepicier. She is one of the most impactful and kindest persons that you will get to know. And we are very honored to have her as a graduate of the school and also a senior fellow at Ritech Center. Thank you.
Thank you, Saman. Good evening, distinguished faculty, fellow doctors, families, and friends. It's both an honor and a deep joy to open this evening under the name of an institution that carries in its very title a promise, Les Ponts, the bridges, a legacy that École des Ponts Business School inherits from its parent institution, l'École nationale des Ponts et Chaussées, and one that lives in our own DNA. The conviction that we are indeed here to build the worlds of tomorrow, being in business to make a better world. A bridge is never just a structure, it's a passage, a way of connecting what seems divided. It's the courage to span uncertainty, and the patience to build meaning stone by stone. A bridge does not erase the river, it learns its rhythm and honors it. When the founders of this school created their first bridges and roads, they were not only connecting cities, they were connecting worlds. They believed that progress should serve humanity and that knowledge, when shared, could become a form of care. We are their heirs, not engineers of matter, but engineers of transformation. During this year, we learned to design invisible architectures, system of thought, organization of trust, bridges of understanding. We learn to build not only models, but friendships across late-night drives, peer reviews, and the quiet courage to start again. And we discovered that building any bridges requires more than technique. It requires measure, alignment, and harmony to the quiet geometry that sustains what lasts. When I began this doctorate, my focus was on data, real-world data, evidence, measurable outcomes. But I learned that data alone cannot heal what is fragmented. What heals is the connection between sense and science, between precision and purpose. The challenge is not only to know, but to understand what deserves to be known, to move from the visible to the meaningful. Data are instruments, meaning is the core. It takes both to make music. This doctorate has been both a work of reason and a work of spirit, a patient construction of bridges across discipline, cultures, and human experience. The philosopher Edgar Morin once wrote, "The mission of intelligence is not to simplify, but to connect." That is also the mission of the Ponts, to connect what seems divided, to reconcile efficiency with ethics, and to rebuild meaning in the age of machines. A bridge is a decision made visible, a choice to serve what lies on both shores. Every bridge begins with foundations we cannot see. They must be anchored in something deeper than ambition, in values, in conscience, in invisible harmony that holds everything together. Leadership, we learn, is not domination, it's elevation, it's the art of lifting others without losing our measure of balancing firmness and openness, analysis and empathy. And in all good architecture, silence matters. Is it in silence that structures breathe, the meaning appears, and that connection endures? In a world often divided, our task is not to build walls but bridges between economy and ecology, innovation and inclusion, performance and purpose. The future will belong to those who can hold opposites together, who can see complexity not as chaos, but as a living system of relations. We are no doctors in business, yes, but more profoundly, architects of coherence, charged with turning knowledge into service and system into living ecosystems. May we be remembered not for building the tallest structures, but for spanning the right distances. To our professors, thank you for teaching us how to think deeply and build wisely. To the staff, thank you for making the invisible logistics look effortless. To our families, thank you for being our pillars through each unfinished bridge. And to my fellow graduates, thank you for the light you brought to this journey. Tonight, every thesis is a bridge. Let us honor the builders behind each one, our families and our mentors. As we step forward, may we remember that every bridge carries both weight and grace, that each connection we create leaves a trace of care in the world. In the end, what we carry across is not title, but trust, not certainty, but care. May your bridges stand firm, your paths stay aligned, and your light guide others safely across.
Thank you, Clementine. Thank you. The next valedictorian of the EDBA program is Dr. Desmond Patrick Cooney, a person that I have learned a lot from, and he has also contributed a lot to the work that we are doing. We are very proud to have you here. Thank you very much.
Okay, good evening. So, distinguished guests, Dean, faculty, École de Ponts staff, fellow students, family, friends, and those of us joining online. I wish you a very good evening. So I consider it an honor to be invited to speak this evening as an executive DBA graduate of the École de Ponts. I've got the bridging role between this part of the presentation and the celebration, so I'll try and keep it brief. Today marks an important landmark for us all, and yet for many of us, it doesn't stop there. This quest for knowledge is an ongoing journey. But let's start by appreciating the people who helped us get here. I want to express my gratitude to all those who supported me on this path. First, I'd like to thank my supervisor, Dr. Paul Sweeting, who unfortunately isn't here today, and the Director of Research, Dr. Joe Santora. Joe has always been available and offered invaluable guidance and advice on my research over the past few years, so I'm grateful for that. I'd also like to thank Dr. Saman, Dr. Mona Lisa, Dr. Modwell, and the Dean, Professor Alan Rosen, for their positive attitude and support for all the students on this journey. The wheels of an operation turn more freely when there are good people at the helm. And a special thanks to my wife, who's sitting up there, Anne, who has put up with me over the years as I toil from one project to the next. That deserves a medal, I can assure you. There's no doubt that the École de Ponts, as an international business school, provides a great opportunity for students from different countries to communicate, share knowledge and life experiences. The École de Ponts is really a place where business people gather. In terms of the level of commitment involved, getting to this point has been an achievement. When we enrolled on the EDBA program, we were determined to rise to the challenge. For most of us, it has not been plain sailing. There has always been things that get in the way. In the words of the great Henry Ford, obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goals. To overcome these obstacles, we had to draw on our personal strengths, the passion, the commitment, tenacity, and the openness to learning. These things all stand by us throughout our lives. Another part of the equation, of course, is the sacrifice. The endless time studying and researching, trying to squeeze in an hour in the morning or the evening while dealing with our other responsibilities. I'm sure most of my fellow graduates can identify with that. One of the most important aspects of the EDBA is the finishing line. It takes so long. In my case, that was so. And the relief and satisfaction at getting over the finishing line. You know, every time I finish a course, I promise myself, I'm never going to do that again. And here I am all these years later, I'm still taking courses. Okay. Does that sound familiar to some of you? Always taking courses. However, you know, I suspect there is no finishing line. Okay, the reason for this is that we're in an ever-changing world at the moment. Indeed, change is upon us and it's accelerating. So consider the impact of AI as we've looked upon earlier in the presentations. And in the workplace, the impact it has on our workplace and our society. Drucker, who was the master of bringing things to the point, he professed that you cannot manage change. You must get ahead of it. First in your minds, and then in your practice and your lives. We have to be ready to reinvent ourselves throughout our lives to keep up with the constant change of the world around us. Knowing how to conduct proper research is an important factor. Having the EDBA doctorate, that facilitates this, and I'm grateful for that. We came on board with different backgrounds and from different cultures. We leave this campus today as a collective unit. This celebration is for all of us. We own it. We've all graduated from the École de Ponts, and it doesn't get any better than that. So thank you for your time. I hope you have a great evening with your family and friends, and good luck with the future.
Thank you very much. Thank you all, the family members and the friends and our guests and graduates. So now we are going to open the Degree Granting Act. And for that, I'm going to have Professor Suman Madwell, Emeritus Professor of the Business School, who is with us. I mean, has been here before, of course, I joined, but he's been with this school from the beginning, and he carries the very founding values of the school and the care. And we are very honored to have him here today. So Professor Madwell is going to start the celebration part, the degree granting section of the ceremony. Professor Madwell, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, please.
Let's put it up a little higher.
Professor Santoro, please. If you don't. Thank you very much. Yes, I guess your microphone is working.
Can it be lifted a little more? Can you lift it a little more?
Yes, sure. You can say a few words until we set the stage.
Sorry?
You can say a few words until we set the stage.
Yeah.
Good? Yes, works.
Okay. Well, good evening. Bonsoir. And namaste. As Alain reminded me, this is my 36th graduation ceremony. I came here in 1989. It was the invitation of the late founder of the school, business school, Celia Russo, who invited me. And I was glad to change what was a very dull, boring, administrative, bureaucratic career in the government of India to switch and come to this great environment in school. So looking back, span of all these 36 years, first, of course, please excuse that I'm sitting down. As the poet said, they also serve not those who stand, but those who sit also. So I'm trying to serve you. Before I get on to the graduates who have done such a great job, and I think I recognize almost all of you, it's interesting. I'm in this process right at the beginning. I think I interview many of you, and I'm also privileged to join the jury when you wind up. So it's the beginning and the end. And that brings me to a little bit of a psychological concept. I just thought I'd break the ice, so to speak, in talking about it. It's Gestalt philosophy. Some of you might have heard about it. It's how people perceive. How do you perceive what is happening today? How do you perceive the length and breadth of what you've done in your 3 or 4 years of your academic research? And this particular theory, this psychological paradigm, proposes that people perceive things, objects, shapes, forms, whatever you're doing, as whole entities rather than separate parts. Now that means that when we see something which doesn't appear complete
there's an urge to do something about it. I'm just showing this. I think, I don't know if at the back benches you'll be able to see it. Do you see this circle? Now, how do you feel about these gaps? To me, the way I made the nexus to this particular Gestalt philosophy and my own involvement in the DBA program was thinking of these gaps. You're not in these gaps. Congratulations. Absolutely bravo. But what about all those in your cohorts and others? What about the issues that we have been facing? The incompleteness. Is there not an urge to complete? So that's the idea. And what I wish is that some of these gaps, unfinished work, incomplete issues get completed. And if you're in that population which feels that urge when you perceive, then I think we should aim for this, complete the circle. So I wish all of you, again, congratulations, go towards the completion of what is still left. I mean, treat this particular point, this moment, as a comma, not a full stop. I think many of you and Joseph and Alain, they have all talked about it. So I think we'll now get down to brass tacks. Thank you. So I think Anna Lisa has given all these things, and off and on she tells me that no, so-and-so is online and so-and-so is offline. So I think first to walk up would be Dr. Eric Bon, who is present, not online. We see you. He did 3 papers. Many of you did 3 papers. Many of you did dissertations. And it reminded me of this force field analysis, change. We've all been talking about change. What is driving change? What is resisting change? And that's the type of tension that is always quite often with us. Okay. Okay. So now we have 2 who are online. I hope online. Where are you? I hope you're all connected and have been following us. So the next to walk would be Dr. Hyam Shriati. It's quite an interesting dissertation. Stigma as an opportunity in core stigmatized industries. Tobacco, liquor, what is it? What's the opportunity there? It was a fascinating dissertation. Next also, online, I hope you're very much with us, Dr. Massimiliano Ciferi Ceretti. So the challenge in his research was multi-party collaboration, a team deployment framework. Okay. Next is a very interesting one, Dr. Desmond Patrick Kulu. So he was still full of Brexit. That's where he spent years and years of experience. And he worked on his dissertation on the successful the impact of Brexit on the provision of UK private pension, and those who are in the UK but are based in the EU, what happens to them? They're holding policies. So it was quite a complicated one, and that's what he did. Next is Dr. Jacob Enoch. From Israel, and it's all about batteries. He worked on his 3 papers. Shall we import batteries or shall we manufacture batteries? What do we do with the problem of the end-of-life battery? What exactly is this range anxiety, where after every 200 or 300 kilometers, the thing stops? So this is what he worked on. Congratulations. Next, we have, I think, he's online, Dr. Robert Ernest Isser. Yes. So I hope you're there. Congratulations. Your dissertation was on critical success factors for global brands in China. And this was looked at from a CEO perspective. Dr. Issa. Next, we have, who's present out here, Dr. Gail Aurélie Gibbon. She worked on 3 papers. So it was all about sustainability in supply chain in her integrative literature review, and supply chain, data analytics, and case study also addressing the same theme. Okay. Next, we have Dr. Okay, this is a long one. Dr. Clementine Sylvie Caroline Langlois de Lepessier. Got it. Her dissertation, it was a dissertation, Breaking Barriers to Real-World Data Analytics. So statistics, a quantitative study for transforming healthcare. We don't see that many quantitative studies. Having worked in mathematics before, very rusty right now. It's quite a first. Congratulations. Next, we have Dr. Lauriane Lachanody. Her dissertation was on eco-anxiety, the employee disengagement, where there's worry, anxiety, stress, depression, whatever, on what's happening to the planet, to climate change, etc. Next to walk up would be Dr. Francisco Jose Marin-Cano. Three papers, teaching case study on accelerating the energy transition, the delicate balance, indeed very delicate, between profits and sustainability, and an integrative literature review on navigating the energy transition. So it's all the oil and gas thing, which is still with us. And some talk about 2030, 2040, 2050. We don't know when oil and gas will become completely sustainable energy. Next, we have another longish one, Dr. Guillaume-Henri Jean Reynaud de la Favie. 3 papers, managing the risk audit framework, particularly addressing the potential for fraud. So this transition through digital transformation and internal control, and to what extent that can detect or be alert about risks of fraud. Now I think it's the DBA IMM manufacturing from China. Our friends are here. And, but before, Dr. Aibo Chen is online. I hope he's around. His dissertation was also on quite interesting, some of the frontiers of artificial intelligence, digital twins based on development of an AI application. Then we have Dr., and I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly because I did spend quite some time going to China when we had a program there, Dr. Zhen Yu Mi. Have I got it right? It was a dissertation on digital transformation on corporate transaction costs. So it was a powder coating company that he worked on. Congratulations. Well, I'm done. I wish all of you a very, very warm congratulations.
Group photo with Zoom. Go for group photo.
Yeah, photo? Okay, okay. I see.
have the diplomas there. They are unnamed. Jordi is coming, Marjolaine is coming, and Saman.
So, what do? I don't do anything. Thank you very much, Professor Suman Madwell. Thank you very much. It was an honor. Thank you. Now we are starting with the degree granting act of Lead Tech Global Executive MBA. Hannah and Marjolaine are going to read the names.
Thank you. So, first we start with Amina Alieva.
She has to be in the center, huh?
Oh, she has to be in the center. Also, yes.
No, you go to the center.
You go to this one.
Suhel Blues.
Marcos Carvalho Pareto.
Tomás Carmona.
David Castillo Montañana.
Dmitro Alexandrovich Kovoruka.
Rezan Suliman Havaje.
Yaini Fabiola Huamani Camargo.
Osama Mohamed Kamel Abdelgawad.
Vasya Mantua.
Alvaro Daniel Mulethaler Vakaro.
Lukasz Prosinski.
Alexa Ramirez.
Lukas Swikarovic.
Olga Ulyanova.
Well done. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all the family members, dear friends, coaches, professor, deans, guests of honors. Thank you very much. Champagne time. Thank you.